Hey there you guys, what's going on? In this video we're going to create this beautiful blog section, and here as you can see there are 6 posts, but if I come down here and click on this load more posts, 6 more posts are going to be loaded, and then 6 more posts, and it's gonna continue until the posts are done. And when you get to the end of the posts, the button is going to just be gone. Now, before we start, I would like to ask you to subscribe my channel and drop me a comment if you have any idea, positive, negative, to make my work better. So without any further ado, let's start. Alright guys, now let's create the project folder, loader, btn, and let's open the VS Code. Now inside our VS Code, we're going to create an index HTML, style.css, script.js. Let's create our HTML snippets. We're going to say loader btn script. Let's add our JavaScript. Inside the head tag up above the title, I'm gonna add my CSS file. So we use link tag and href style.css. Now let's go for the Poppins font. Roboto fonts. We're gonna go for Roboto from Google Font. Just copy this link and bring it up above the CSS file. I say Roboto fonts. So this is it. Now we are all set up. So let's run the project using go live. Very good. This is the project. Now let me make the project small. Sorry. And put the VS Code right here. Excellent. Now let's test our project first. H1, hello. So it's working. Now let's go to CSS and give our default styling, margin 0, padding it's gonna be 0, box sizing should be border box, and text decoration should be none. And let's say the font family to everything should be Roboto. This is it. Now for as far as the HTML file, let's erase this h1 and create a blog section here. So I'm going to create a section with the class of blog. Inside that section, I'm going to create a header, and I create a div with the class of section header. Inside that section header, I'm going to give an h1, call it blog, and an h2, read our interesting and top posts. And under header, we're going to create a container. So let's create a div with the class of container. Inside the container, I'm going to create my posts. So this is the first post. I'm going to create a div with a class of post. Inside post, we create an h2. The title are going to be fake, so I'm going to write to all of them, this is a post title. Now for the p tag, I'm going to use a lorem 50 would be enough. And here is our post as far as we can see. Now how many of these posts, after this p tag, we're going to need a br tag, break tag, and under that we're going to need a link anchor tag, and here we write read more. Read more. Now this is it. I think we're done with the posts. Now let's copy these posts for now, I'm gonna copy them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think is enough. Now let's design our project. Let's go to the style.css. Let's say the body should have a padding of 100 pixels from top and bottom and 15% from right and down. Let's say the background color should be E9, 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 and we're not gonna do anything with block, just let it be here just in case. The post should be background color FFF. Now as you can see, they're all white. So the border radius for all of them should be 5 pixels, and I'm gonna come back to this post because I want to give it a box shadow later. Now let's go for the header. The header right here, because before we get to the posts, I just want to deal with this header that I created. So let's go to section header. Now inside section header, I'm gonna create a margin of 20 pixels. Margin bottom, sorry, of 20 pixels. Now let's give it a border radius. Border radius should be 15 pixel. Let's give it a border left of solid 5 pixels, and we're gonna give it the color of 2D5 to E9, and let's give it a padding of 50 pixels. Now let's give it a background image URL. Now we need the photo. You can choose any photos you like, but I'm gonna bring my photo from my desktop here. This is my photo. You can use mine, you can use anything you like. I'm gonna add the URL images. Let's give the background a position of center, a background cover, a background repeat of no repeat, and a background size of cover. Now let's give a background blend mode color, and we say background color should be RGBA 0000.2, so it gets a little bit darker, and the color should be white. This is it. Now for the section header, we're gonna have a H1 and an H2. To the H1, I'm gonna give a font size of 35 pixels and a margin bottom of 7 pixels. To the H2, I'm gonna just give it a font size of 19 pixels. Now, then I have a display of flex direction should be column, justify content center, and align item center. But align items should be flex start. Sorry, that's it. Now if I make my project bigger, you can see that this looks like this. Let me make the project like this, because we're gonna just put the posts stand next to each other. So let's go for our container. Container is actually the div that holds all the posts together. So you can see if I close it up, there's no posts because they are all inside the container. So let's go to style and select the container and say display should be grid, and grid template columns should be repeat, out of fit, min max, and 300, let's say 400 pixels and auto. So this is it, and let's give it a gap of 15 pixels. Very well, you can see that. Let's just give it a 350. I think that That would make more sense. Better. It looks better now. Now let's give our posts let's give our posts, or post, I think, yes, post, singular. The post a padding of, I think 20 pixels would be enough. Very good. And what else do we need to do with the post? I think we need to give it a background color. I already gave sorry, I made a mistake, did I? Oh, sorry, the post class, I already made that. I don't need to make it again. So let me just cut this one and bring it down here, and I'm gonna copy this stylings here, and I'm gonna get rid of this extra style. Sorry. So the background color here should be omitted as well. And let's give it a box shadow of 3 pixels, 2 pixels, 2 pixels, 1 pixel, RGBA, and 0, 0, 0, 0.1. So this is it. Now let's go for the link button. For the for this button, actually, we're gonna give our A tags, all the A tags. We say it should have a text decoration of none. I actually, by default, I made all the anchor tags have text decoration none, but just let's give it a text decoration none, and the color of 2D52E9, and the font weight should be 900, and the padding should be 1 pixel. Let's give it a border bottom of 1 pixel solid and 2D52E9. This is our link. This is how it looks like now. Very good. Now, finally, we should get to the load more btn. So we're gonna go to, let me close this container. I'm gonna close up this container, as you can see. Now, exactly under the container, I'm gonna create a button, and I'm gonna give this button ID of load btn, and inside that I'm gonna write load more posts. So here it is. Now let's go for the styles. Let's select the button using the ID. You know that this hashtag icon selects the HTML elements by the ID. So we say load btn margin top. It's gonna be 20 pixels, a border none, a padding of 10 pixels, and a background color of 2D52E9, and a color of white. Let's give it a text transform of uppercase and a letter spacing of 1 pixel. Let's give it a font weight of 400 and a cursor pointer. Now you can see we have our button here. Now all we need to do, we have sorry, I forgot something. Let me do that as well. This p tag, this post actually has a p tag. Let's give it a line height of 2, or I think no, that is so much, 1.8. Now there's space between them. I think it looks more beautiful, even 1.7. And let's give it a margin top and bottom 7 pixels, and from left and right nothing. So I think, let me erase this one, and I think margin top would be enough. Yes, this is it. Now we're gonna need more posts because we're going to do a loading challenge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me create 30 posts. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30. That's it. Now we have got 30 posts. And I have to add that this project is actually responsive by itself because I used the display of grid and I actually made it out of it by 350 pixels in width. And when the page shrinks, it just the number of posts shrink. It doesn't look what exactly a block should look like, but it is better than nothing. I believe that even the practice projects should be responsive. Now we have 30 projects and we're going to make these button now using JavaScript. We're going to make this button work in order to just show 6 posts and then load more posts. Let's go to the JavaScript. Now let's go for the JavaScript code. Now here's JavaScript. First, let's test our JavaScript file. I'm going to inspect here and I'm going to console log hello. So if you get the hello here, it means that you have correctly connected your script file to the HTML file. So you have to be careful. Up above this closing body tag, you should put your script tag, and with the attribute of src, you can address the correct file. So we have correctly connected our project to JavaScript. Now let's erase this one, and for starters, let's write document.add event listener, and we're gonna go for DOM content loaded. And now inside this block, we're gonna first call for our variables. Inside this block, we're going to call for our variables. We're gonna create a const posts, and we're gonna document query selector all. We're gonna use all, and we're gonna select all the posts. So, not posts, post. Now, these posts here have the class of post. Now, using query selector all, I actually selected all of the posts here in this HTML file on the DOM. Now let's go for const load btn is equal to document.getElementById, and our button has here the ID of load btn. So let's just put the load btn here. You don't have to put any sign here, not dot, not hashtag, because this is getElementById, and only the name is enough. Now let's define a variable called letVisibleCount. So how many posts are gonna show? 6 posts. So this is the thing I want to do. I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 posts to show up, and I want the other posts to be hidden. And after I click on this button, 6 more posts should be loaded. This is the thing we want to do. So in order to do that, let's hide the posts beyond the initial count. So after 6 posts, we're gonna make the rest of them hidden. We say posts for each. Because this posts is a query selector all, we can use the for each method on it. So we're gonna say for each post, and we're going to post, not posts. You have to be careful, it should be singular, and the actually key of these posts to be detected is going to be the index of the post. And we say for each post, I think I made a mistake here. And what is my mistake? For each post as the post. What is wrong here? Definitely I did something wrong. What is that? Expected a let me check again. So here, let's say posts for each. Oh, sorry. I needed to put another parenthesis. Sorry. You should say post index. Now this is the the time that you actually put the arrow. So you have to close and open parentheses, post index, and then you use an arrow and open and close curly braces. And then you say if the index is greater or equal to visible count, you should post style display none. So you should make the style the display of post none. So it means if the index, so you know that index of posts start from 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from index of 0 to index of 5 are going to be shown. And if it's greater than the visible count, which is 6, which is this index of 6, now you can see that we have 6 posts. So it is already done. Now we can only see post number 1 to 6 because we have the index of 0 to 5. So you have to be careful. I'm going to repeat again. The index of the posts start from 0. So we say 0, 1, index 0, index 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we managed to show up just only 6 posts. Now the next step we're going to take is to say posts. Now I think now we need to handle our load btn. So let's say load btn, which is this one here, this one. We say load btn, and we say add event listener, and we're going to listen for click because we want the action to be fulfilled when we click on this. Now listen for click, and then we create a function here and we say let next count. So we define a variable called next count, and we say you should put visible count. You should actually take visible count and make it +6. So you're gonna add 6 more posts to the visible count. So this 6 should be actually 12. And now we're gonna go for the posts and say for each. Now let's just not repeat the mistake I made. Post index. Then inside that we say if index is smaller, less than next count, you should post style display block. You should just make them show up. So if the index is smaller than next count, if the next count is now 12, and you should now start showing the index of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So this is the thing that we need to do. So after that, we say, now let's go for the visible count, which should be equal to next count. Now let's hide the, I think now it's worked. I think it works now. Let me just click on this. Yes, it perfectly works. Now as you can see, okay, just give me one moment. It just happened one time. Why? Visible count. I think I have a typo here. Yes, I had a typo. Sorry for my mistake. Now if I click on this, now if I click again, you can see it's gonna load as many as posts that are there. Now we are done, and the posts are, we are actually at the end of the posts, but the problem is that this load more posts is still here, and it doesn't make any sense, because if we have loaded all of our posts, it doesn't make any sense for this button to stay here. So we're gonna have to make it hidden as soon as we get to the end of the post. So let me reload the project. Now we have again 6 posts. So let's go for the last piece of our code. We put a comment here. I'm gonna write hide the button if all posts are displayed. Now we say if the visible count is greater or equal to posts.length, it just looks through all the posts. So it's gonna say if you have 30 posts, for example, so if the visible count is equal to 30 or greater than 30, so we say load btn style display should be none. So now if I start loading more posts, by the time we get to the end of the posts, you don't see this button. Now this is what actually makes sense. So there you go. Now you have a beautiful blog section, and you actually don't load all the posts at just once. The user can see just 6 posts, and if the user is interested, can simply load more posts. I hope you like this video. Thank you guys if you subscribe my channel and support me. It doesn't take any time for you to drop a comment. Please support my channel by commenting. And if you have any idea for my channel to improve it, please share it with me. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.